Hey guys, this is Shiny Zekrom and welcome back for another dungeon video. In this part, we are going to head off into the Murky Trench. Just make sure, before we start, I'd like to mention a couple things. One of which is that I did hatch a couple new Pokemon from the eggs in Boggy Wastes that were not listed. These include Ekans and Bellsprout. I will make sure to add an annotation or some sort of thing in the Boggy Waste video saying that in these eggs there was also Bellsprout and Ekans, but they weren't listed, so yeah. Also, make sure that you have your Aquatic Key before heading on in here. All you do is walk up to the door, hit enter. Would you like to use your Aquatic Key? Let's use it and head in. Will you enter? Any parties will be disbanded just so people who did not beat Boggy Waste could easily get dive. Now, of course, use your Aquatic Key there. And yeah, just make sure you have some sort of water flying, levitate ghost Pokemon on you, or like a mobile scarf, just to be able to move across this. But anyways, let us head in to Murky Trench. This dungeon can be a little tricky in terms of some of the Pokemon I can get, but here we go. So, really all there is for Murky Trench is just 12 floors and the end, which gives us our HM dive as we heard about. Now, for Recruitables, I will mention, they will be all floors, however, the one we can find right now is night only, and is Why Not, actually. This is the only way you're going to be able to get Why Not and, whatchamacallit. It's the only way you're going to be able to get Why Not and Wobbuffet, is getting Why Not in here. Other than that, pretty much this is a dungeon you just want to run through, honestly. There's no other real big reason besides dive, of course. And you can see there are TM Dark Pulses in here, but of course TM Taunt is back again to taunt us. So just be careful. Also, for the other recruits, I'm sorry. So yeah, Why Not is night only on all floors. On all floors during dusk is Murkrow, and on all floors during dawn only is Phanpy. This is the only way to get Phanpy. This is the only way, I should say one of the only ways to get Murkrow. And this is again the only place to get Why Not. So besides the recruits, there's not really too much to this place. There's no Silk Chamber or anything to worry about. That Spiritomb is not recruitable before asked. The Liepard, obviously there's not Purloin here because we've already found that in Rustic Savannah. But yeah, let's just keep running through. And of course, I don't get the whole point of why Sharpedos can spawn poisoned or Poliwraths can spawn burned. I really don't understand why they are. Just what happened, really. Alright, so one last thing to talk about is starting on floor 7, and we'll go to 11F. You can find secret rooms. These secret rooms will have, I believe, 2 boxes to them, and can contain the following items: Reaper Cloth, Damp Rock, Pearl String, which is just a selling item for, I believe, 20k, Big Nugget, Razor Claw, and Revival Herb. Anyways, let us continue on. Yeah, that Crab Hammer did a lot. The levels in here, I think, are around the high 50s and 60s, and the medium 60s. Or the mid 60s, excuse me, medium 60s. So yeah, just be careful when you're in here. Especially if you're like a fire type or something like that, you are not going to have fun in this place. Because it's mainly water types and stuff. With, of course, some dark types and a few psychic types thrown in. Other than that, yeah, this is pretty much just a run through it kind of dungeon, unless you want one of the recruits. With the, of course, occasional chance of finding Dark Pulse. And we got another TM taunt. To taunt us, of course. I need to stop making that fun. The training's not bad in here, but again, it's a very small dungeon, so it's not like you would get much out of training here. And we are going to sneak around these. Run it back through here. Let's head up back through here. That's a dead end. Oh, the warp trap. Gotta love it. Let's check this one this time. Yeah, I'm not falling for it this time. Again, I really don't understand why these polyrads can start burn. And the Sharpedos can start poisoned. Oh man, we got a bunch of stuff around. I think we cleared it all though. Looks like it. At least most of it. That's quite the trap-filled room. Alright. So here we are on the last floor. That can find secret rooms, that is. Let's drink that ether. There's a lepaberry under this. We can eat that and... Hey, we got one! Yeah, I'm just gonna go through this floor quick. At least the rooms, and wow, we got lucky with that miracle. Whew. Another TM taunt. Wow, they're laying the TM taunts. I did not even see that Sharpedo. I know, I'm sorry for dragging this on a little bit, but it was a small floor, small rooms and whatnot. It got me curious. Alright. Alright. I think that's about it for rooms, right? Nope, we got one last one over here. Yeah, we didn't find any secret rooms. That's okay. Alright. On the last floor. Yeah, let's just run those stairs. I still feel a bit dizzy. Why am I even here? Right, Garen, I must go back to him. He must be worried sick. I can't afford to lose him to these fast currents. No. So yeah, that Mighty Enna was talking about the Garen, which is the Poochyena at the beginning of this place. But anyways, at the very end is your HM dive. Of course, make sure you have a slot in your inventory for it. But there we go. This is the last HM we needed to obtain. And you know how I was talking about we were going to need an HM to get through that Dragon's Descent dungeon, which that's not going to be for a very long time. But yeah, that's the one right there. This is the HM we are going to need. HM Dive. So, we're going to teach this to... can Starmie learn it? This would be cool to have a throwback. Yeah, Starmie can learn it. Let's have a throwback. Give her rest since we don't really use our Starmie anymore. So there you go, dive. Now, of course, as it said, it's kind of a field move. These kind of spots are where you can dive at. There's one at the beginning of Crescent Islet, which, if you use that dive spot, you can go back to the end of, like, where Crescent Islet would throw you after you beat the deep part, or if you took that warp, it would throw you there. This will take us to another dungeon that we aren't going to do for a little while. And, yeah, so, is that about it? I think that's just about it. We got our HM dive, we got through Murky Trench, we talked about all the stuff that's in there. We got dive taught to a Pokemon, so I think we're doing pretty good. So, also, now that we have beaten Boggy Wastes and Murky Trench, we now have access to be able to do whatever Archford dungeons we want to do. Which I know the exact one I want to do next. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and in the next part, we are going to be covering a dungeon called Inferno Volcano. See you guys then.